But anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. Uh, yep, don't know what I was gonna say. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. Before I go on too far, if you like what you see here today or in any of my other videos, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I love having new subscribers. And also, if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. It helps me to, know what you guys like to see. So today, if this video seems like it is bouncing all over the place, it's because it is. I recorded this video or this particular product try on yesterday and didn't have my mic on, and so I have like an hour of footage and no sound. But then I remembered to turn my mic on for part of it, and so you will see some of that as well. So today I am going to be doing my second day wear test try on of the new e.l.f. Camo CC Cream, and I'm going to do a little bit different today because I do have my thoughts on just wearing this like straight out of the tube, and today I am going to do a couple of different things. Yesterday I didn't wear any sunscreen because I wasn't planning on going anywhere. And this product does have an SPF of 30 in it. So I thought, well, that'll be all right. I don't plan to go anywhere anyway. But today I'm going to wear some sunscreen because I think I might go out. I'm not sure. I have a couple of errands I'd like to run. It's been a while since I have filmed. I said this yesterday in my intro and stuff. And it's still true. I have just been super into working in my studio, and so nothing like a little sunscreen in the hair. And so I haven't been filming because I just haven't been that inspired, and I don't know, I'm still not in a way, but I don't want to just let my channel languish either. So, and I happen to be at Walmart over the weekend. It's Monday the 5th of April, by the way, and saw that e.l.f. had this new CC cream on the shelves there at Walmart, and it was $14, which I thought was really a lot for an e.l.f. product. But I thought, well, we'll give it a try. I haven't tried anything new in a while, and so I'm going to put that over my sunscreen. I will say that this foundation I do not have it in the right color. It's too dark and it's a little bit too yellow. And I have the shade Light 210N. Depending on whether or not I like the way this turns out today, and given what I thought of it yesterday when I wore it, and I wore it for a full day, I wore it for like 9 hours, I think. I might go back and get a lighter shade for now. We are heading into the spring and summer months, and so I think that this will work for me in the summer months when I have like self tanner on and things like that. But we're gonna make it work because it's what I've got, and I don't really want to buy it again in a different shade if I'm not pretty sure that I'm going to like it. Because like I say, it was $14, which is not super expensive, but it's not free either. Yesterday, like I say, I didn't wear sunscreen. I had prepped my face as usual. I took 2 pumps, and I'm going to do that today. But today I am going to add in a drop of the Farsali facial oil. This is the Rose Gold Elixir. I got this little guy at Costco for like $15 or something like that. And I like it. It's fine. It's nothing super exotic, but I'm going to add a couple of drops to that foundation, and I'm going to mix those together today because yesterday I felt like, and this will be plenty of foundation because this is supposed to be full coverage. I find it to be a high medium. I'm not real into full coverage stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to mix these two things together here on the back of my hand pretty well, and we're just gonna go with this, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to look a little bit less heavy, a little bit not so much sheared out, although I guess that's part of it. I just want to see if it lays a little bit better on like any of the dryness that I might have. And I, you know, like I say, I prepped my skin, I exfoliated this morning and everything, but it is a one of those foundations, and most foundations are like this, that if you have any kind of dryness or anything like that, it's going to accentuate that. And my skin's pretty normal to dry. I have a few little places every so often, depending on how much eczema I'm fighting on my face. I did notice a few places where it was wanting to cling a bit. So I'm going to try to avoid that today. And we're going to mix this in. And like I say, I have tons here, and you can see how wrong that shade is. The sunscreen helps a little bit because it does have a little bit of a tint to it. But we're just going to go ahead and work with what we've got here. And that was probably too much. I probably could have gotten away with just a pump, because yesterday I did have some left over, and I had my hair up. I had my hair wrapped, actually. And so, you know, my face was super exposed, and my neck as well. And so I put on a little, maybe a little bit extra, like down my neck and stuff. And I'm going to do that today too, because my top does not come up. But I'm not going to drag it all the way down, because I don't really like that. That's why I like to have a shade that matches well to my neck. Not so much my chest, because it's quite red, but for my neck. And I'm just using an e.l.f. Cosmetics foundation brush. This is the same one I used yesterday, so I didn't clean it, but it has the same product on it. And we're going to see if this makes this foundation better on me. And I'm going to go over this with a sponge. And I'm trying to do everything pretty much the same. My eyes are a little bit different, but I do have some of the same products on. And I use the Revolution ColorBook in the blue and green colorway, and I found that at TJ Maxx for $5. So this did have a little bit of a tendency to look kind of heavy around the creases of my nose, in between my eyebrows, around my mouth, the usual places that foundations can look a little heavy. And that was too much. I could have taken one pump and been fine, because this is definitely one of those products where, you know, I mean, unless you really like to pack on the foundation, which I don't personally recommend, but that's just me, you know, you do you. I'm going to go over this with my same sponge that I used yesterday. I did clean it, and trying to, like I say, I'm trying to keep everything basically the same, with a few little differences thrown in. So this will be like a 2-day wear test, try on, wearing it a couple of different ways. I like people that do these kinds of foundation tests. I know Angie over at Hot and Flashy, she does this a lot. She'll do things like over 3 days and wear them after putting on with a brush, with a sponge, with her fingers, that kind of thing, to see if she likes one way over the other, or what sunscreen works for it. And I know she has a couple that she likes. I have 2 that I like, but I'm wearing the tinted one today. So right off the bat, I think I like this quite a bit better with the little bit of oil blended into it. Let's see how it looks a little bit closer. Yeah, it looks a lot better on me with a little bit of oil mixed into it, facial oil. Yesterday I used the Naked Concealer, or the Stay Naked Concealer from Urban Decay, and this is the shade 40 NN. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again today. And it looks like I have really dark circles, but it's, I think, more eyeliner that didn't want to come off, and I didn't want to just keep, you know, rubbing at my eyeballs. So I didn't. I'm going to blend that out, pat that out with my little, these are really nice. These are from e.l.f. as well. These are the concealer sponges, and they're super soft and nice and bouncy, and I quite like them. I'm not going to worry about it too much because, like I say, I don't know, I haven't really been into the concealer thing lately. I just haven't really liked the way that my under eyes have been looking with a lot of concealer, and so I'm trying to keep it relatively light, but still, you know, do a little bit of something. And then I did powder yesterday. I think I will still powder today because although this isn't like a super dewy foundation, it does have a little bit of tack after, you know, it's had a few minutes to set down and stuff. So I don't really like that. Sometimes it helps to, you can blend things a little bit easier over something that's been set with a little bit of powder. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just using my bareMinerals powder. I did record yesterday my bronzer and blush and all that stuff, so I'll go ahead and do it today. Usually I edit that out if I'm not using something that's new. This is the bareMinerals bronzing powder, and this is in the shade Faux Tan. I got this at TJ Maxx too for inexpensive, so I'm not sure if, you know, you would be able to find this, if this is discontinued, or hell, maybe it's old. I don't know. I'm not going to go real ham on the rest of my face because I A, don't want to, and B, it's not about that. So for my blush, I'm going to use the Glow Play blush from MAC, and this is the shade Cheer Up. This is the only shade I have, so I've used this a lot of times on my channel before. I'll link everything down below. I always do. Let's go ahead and put a little highlighter on. I used a different highlighter yesterday, but I'm going to use my Melt Cosmetics one. This is the shade Stargazer. All right, so I think that is everything that I wanted to show you for now. Oh my god, you guys. I just fucking filmed this whole look, this whole foundation review and everything, and forgot to turn my sound on, or my mic on. So I have 30 minutes of me yattering on about this foundation and no sound. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. For now, I am going to go ahead and just kind of give you a little mini review of this. I'm so annoyed with myself, so annoyed, but you know, shit happens. For now, I like this. If I had the right color, I think that would help. I think it's a little heavy for me, I think. I used the 2 pumps and a little tiny bit extra just to see if I could build the coverage on my forehead, just to, you know, see if I could get full coverage. And I would say, for me, the amount of foundation that I put on, and I certainly wouldn't put any more on, it's more of a high medium coverage, which is okay. I'm not a big full coverage foundation kind of girl, but if you like that, this definitely seems to have some nice coverage. I don't have a lot to cover up, and so it's hard for me to put myself in the shoes of somebody that has a lot of redness or acne scarring or freckles or age spots or things like that. I have some, but I don't have a ton, and so I don't know how effective it would be on somebody like that. I feel like it looks pretty heavy around like my forehead right in here and the usual places that things can look a little bit heavy. I might try mixing this with an oil, like a facial oil or something like that. That might be really nice. Or mixing it with a dewier foundation, just to try to, you know, not sheer it out exactly, but kind of sheer it out, just so that I have a little bit more control over how much coverage I get, as opposed to the product having the control. And so I might give that a try if I play with this again tomorrow. I'll try to include footage and so on of all of that stuff. Real quick before I go though, I will try to do an update for you later on in the day. I should be able to get a decent amount of wear time out of this. Right now, it looks nice. It has a nice finish. It's not too matte. It's not too glowy. I put on under my eyes, I used some of the colors from the Juvia's Place Berries palette, and I used these two right here, this hot pink one and this one down here. And this is a beautiful palette. If you don't have it, you should have it if you like colorful eye looks like I do. It's definitely all the little mini palettes like this from Juvia's Place, except for the taupes one, which is pretty but it's very light, are good palettes. I have reviews on at least a couple of those on my channel. I'll try to remember to link those either up above or in the description box or something. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes, and I will come back and we'll kind of reassess how things are looking this day when I put the oil in there, put it over sunscreen, and give you some thoughts on today versus yesterday and kind of how they differ. All right, guys, I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back and I've got the rest of my face. I finished off my eyes, put some lashes on, did my brows, the usual stuff. And so far, I like this foundation better with the oil in it than I do without. Now that may change like in the summer when we tend to be sweatier and it's just warmer in general. Kind of depends on, I think, where you live. It's always pretty humid here in the Seattle area, even in the summer. But if you lived somewhere super dry, the desert or something, then your mileage may vary. But for me, I tend to like foundations with a natural finish, and this one says that it does, and I would agree with that. It's not overly dewy, it's not overly matte, it doesn't look powdery or greasy or anything like that. I did powder it, like I mentioned before, like I showed you before, and so far I like it better. I feel like it looks a little bit better on my nose and around my mouth and stuff. I probably could go even more light-handed with this and still be pretty satisfied with it. But I do like the way the oil made it look, like in my problem areas, if you will. I did find that adding the little bit of the oil in there helped me to blend it a little bit better, a little bit easier, because like I say, this is quite a thick foundation. And so sometimes when they're real thick like that, depending on the finish of them, they can be a little tricky to smooth out over your face and get a nice even coverage. But I felt like that helped. Not that I had a lot of problems yesterday doing it, but I felt at the end of putting it on that it was one of those foundations where you really got to be kind of careful. Just, not so much because it dries down, but, and of course, if your foundation matches you, getting something on like perfectly even and stuff isn't as much of an issue because it matches your skin. But of course we want things to match, and this does not. This is it's too dark for me, and that's okay. I'm gonna wear it today. I'm gonna wear it for hopefully at least another 8 hours or so. I will come back and I will do another check-in. Hopefully that's not too weird or too confusing to have two check-ins and two me's, two eye looks, and all that stuff for this video, but it does let me tell you what I think of a couple of different applications of this foundation. And I think if this works out, I may do this for future foundations. And there's something that I like to review a lot, foundations and eyeshadow. Those are my two favorite things to buy and to review. And if you're interested in stuff like that, you're interested in seeing how the newest and greatest, or is it really stuff looks on somebody that's a little bit more mature. I'm 51, and I still like to have fun, with my makeup, with wearing a lot of color and so on. But there are things that happen as you get older that you have to take into account when you use products, when you buy new products, and stuff to look for. So I try to share at least my experience on my own skin. Again, your mileage may vary depending on your skin type, how many lines you have. If you do Botox, I find that when I do Botox, almost everything looks better on my skin, at least on my forehead. But I haven't had any for quite a while, so hopefully I can get that done before the summer. I don't know, it's so expensive. That's a whole other story. But I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna leave it there for now, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day and do my errands and get some more stuff done in my studio. And if you're interested, I will share what I've been doing in my studio. Mostly I've been sewing right now. I'm hoping to get kind of the sewing out of my system so that when the summer months come and it's warmer and I can have the door open and so on and so forth, I can be painting because I do paint with oil a lot of times. And so, I mean, I love the smell of oil paint, but it can be a little overpowering for people who aren't used to it. So I'm hoping to do that this summer, is get some painting done. Anyway, you don't care about all that stuff maybe, but I did kind of want to share where I'm at as far as my creative processes and why I haven't been here on YouTube as much. And that's life. I'm not going to give up my filming and stuff like that, but I have decided that I'm not going to stress about it either, because we all got enough stress in our lives without adding to it, especially about things that we have a choice about. And I have a choice here to be stressed or not stressed about filming and uploading videos 2, 3, 4, or 5 times a week. And so I'm going to do it when I can. And I hope you will join me if you like to see, more color and more fun stuff on a more mature woman. Then I think you might be in the right place. All right, so I am here to do my second check-in for the e.l.f. CC Camo foundation. I mixed in an oil with this foundation, and I tried to go a little bit more light-handed with it this time as well. Now, I haven't done anything super exhausting today or anything, and in fact, I laid down for a little while. So I laid down on this side and rested my face on my hand, so it's a little bit worn on this side, but that's kind of to be expected, I think. But in general, I feel like it's worn really well. I definitely like it better on my nose and around my mouth and those kinds of places where I typically don't like foundation at the end of the day. I've had this on for about 8, almost 9 hours, I think, which is about what I did yesterday. And it definitely didn't pick up on the dry areas as much. So that's a nice trick, to put a little bit of a facial oil in with your foundation if you feel like it's looking a little bit dry and crusty at the end of the day or something like that. It can help. I like this foundation. I'm still considering whether or not I want to get a different color. I haven't quite decided on that. As far as settling and stuff in my lines, it has done it a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. Not that it was real bad or anything, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give this a. You can tell I was sleeping on this side of my face because there's my eyeshadow, not where it's supposed to be. Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, probably not. That's all right. We're at the end of the day. Who cares? All right, I am going to leave it there because I think that this is a pretty good foundation, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it, depending on what a person likes. But I like it. Yeah, I think that's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate your time here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until my next video, bye, guys.